One adult, two adults, three adults. Okay, so today I'm going to be giving you a presentation over Oscar Wilde's The Golden Prince. An introduction to this is the prince, he lived a lavish lifestyle in which he did not ever have to feel sorrow. And then upon his death, he became a golden statue that had a ruby in his hilt and sapphires in his eyes. And being that way, he was able to see, because he was set so much higher than everyone else, he could see everything that was going on around him. And at that moment, he realized that his life was pretty much a fraud, and everybody's really sad, and that sucks. So, during reading this story, which I read the ebook, it explores the realms of possibility, it teaches valuable lessons, and it also creates a sense of wonderment. This is my opinion. My three themes throughout the story are being humble, generosity, and salvation. This is my slides. This is the Fairy Tales of Oscar Wilde. And then it says at the bottom, there is no mystery as great as misery. Just part of that. Okay, my first theme would be humble. Like I was saying earlier, the prince who lived this entirely lavish lifestyle in which he didn't feel any pain, any sorrow, any sadness for anything or anyone around him or anything that has happened. And upon becoming the statue, he was placed so much higher than everyone else that he was able to see all the terrible, sad things that were happening with the poor people in his community. He may have looked pretty on the outside to everyone else because he was golden and had all these jewels, but really internally he was heartbroken and he was sad. One of the things he said during this book was, "When I was alive and had a human heart," answered the statue, "I did not know what tears were for. I lived in the palace of Sans Souci, where sorrow is not allowed to enter." He didn't know that everyone around the world was suffering, or in his city that is. Everyone in his city was suffering. Later on he goes to say, "And now that I am dead, they have set me up here so high that I can see all the ugliness and all the misery of my city. And though my heart is made of lead, I cannot choose but to weep." Which is really crazy because no one knew that that statue had any feelings until this sparrow came. There was a sparrow, and he got lost, and he was looking for somewhere to sleep, and he wanted to sleep where the golden stuff was. My second theme is generosity. As the golden statue stood there and started to realize that everyone was suffering and everyone was sad, and the sparrow came, he suddenly realized that, I should probably do something to help my community, being that his community is suffering, right? And he didn't know that before because he was in Sans Souci. So what he started to do was the first thing he did was he gave away the ruby on his hilt. He had the sparrow actually take it, because being a statue, of course, he's unable to go anywhere. He gave away the ruby on his hilt to a woman in a house somewhere that didn't have any food. And then also throughout this process, he gave away the 2 sapphires in both of his eyes, also to the poor people. The sparrow knows that he's going to die if he doesn't leave for the winter. But even though the prince asks the sparrow to stay and please help him, and even though the sparrow knows he's going to die, the sparrow, being as generous as he is, allows himself to stay and sacrifice himself for the prince. Even after he has donated all the jewels off of his body, the prince that is, the golden statue, he then decides to take it a step further with his generosity. And he donates every single flake of gold that's on him to... Sorry, that's a child. Donates every flake of gold on him to all the people around. Even though he's ugly now and he has no gold on him, he has no jewels, he has nothing, he still feels fulfilled. And throughout this process, since the statue clearly can't go anywhere, the sparrow generously is doing everything that the statue is asking of him. My last theme is salvation. The sparrow sacrifices his life for the statue, and although he knows, regardless of what he's doing now, if he doesn't leave and go south for the winter, then he's going to die. The people tore down the statue as soon as he saw that all the gold flakes and everything were gone, which is really sad because it didn't matter to the sparrow and to the statue because they had each other, and they felt like they were doing right. And towards the end of this, God sent an angel for the 2 most precious things in the entire city, and the angel brought back to him the sparrow, which eventually died, of course, knowing that it's winter, and the broken heart of the statue, which is kind of crazy because you wouldn't think that a heart could break on a statue, but it can. So here's my slides for that. my themes. Being humble, generosity, salvation, which of course you can see this is salvation and generosity as well, salvation. And then the ending of it is like so. I found throughout the story the strongest themes that I could find were being humble, generosity, and salvation. The parting shot I'm going to give you is, you have rightly chosen, said God, for in my garden of paradise this little bird shall sing forevermore, and in my city of gold the happy prince shall praise me. This is the ending visual. And it says, any place that you love is the world to you, by Oscar Wilde. And then here's this.